Hello, and welcome to Manga Mommies.
A podcast where we chat about, you guessed it, mangas, and occasionally our lives as parents.
Nice to meet you all. I'm Kyo,
And I'm Kel.
and we are your host on the show. We hope you're having a great Monday. So please, would you kindly get a drink, take a seat, and let's chat. Welcome back, everyone. Happy All Hallows Eve, our lovely audience.
It's
As
spoopy time.
as promised, this is the part 1 of 2 episode. Woo!
Which manga are we starting with this time, Kyo?
That would be Vampire Night. Yeah. Ooh.
We don't need sound effects, we make our own.
Yeah, we do. Who's ready for some spooky reviews?
Me.
But first, spoiler warning, we will be talking about the ending and some of the plot. You've been warned.
Definitely. So, as a quick refresher, this manga was written and illustrated by Mitsuri Hino. It is a shoujo. The English licensing is Viz Media, which released all 19 volumes from July 10th, 2005 to November 5th, 2013.
There's also a sequel.
That is true.
Yeah, Vampire Night
Um,
Memories. And that's kind of a little bit, I have to mention it just for the simple fact that some of what I'll be talking about goes a little bit into that too. So, yeah.
I believe it was 4 additional chapters for that one.
Roughly, actually, it's about 10 volumes. I think it got canceled. I'm not actually sure because everything I look up, it says the original run is from 2016 to present.
Yeah.
So I don't really know if it actually is still getting released or not, but I know there is somewhat of a actual end.
Yeah. I in my research I did find that there were 10 volumes that have been published as of October 2024. So
Yeah.
that's what I had on that.
Yeah, pretty much. So, from that, let's talk about it. Woo! Go first, Kel.
All right. So, I guess a little overview for those who haven't picked it up yet and sort of want a bit of a spoiler. The story takes place in the prestigious Cross Academy, which has 2 distinct classes, the day class and the night class. Yuki Cross's earliest memory, she is our protagonist, is of a stormy night in winter where she was attacked by a rogue vampire and rescued by Kaname Kurin, a pure blood vampire. 10 years later, Yuki is the adopted daughter of the headmaster of Cross Academy, Cayenne Cross, and has become the guardian of the vampire race, protecting her childhood crush Kaname from discovery as he leads a group of vampires at the elite boarding school. Basically, at twilight, when the students of the day class return to their dorms, they cross paths with the night class, and Yuki and her childhood friend Zero are the guardians of the school, protecting the day class from the academy's dark secret, the night class, which are vampires. Spooky.
Spooky, yeah, okay.
It's vampires. All Hallows Eve. Come on. I can be cheesy with it.
Well, that is one of the major tropes when it comes to vampires, isn't it?
Mhm.
Always around the Halloween time.
Definitely. Which is the throwback to last episode. If you didn't hear it, you should really go check that one out.
Oh, yeah, totally. 100%.
So, what was your take on this manga?
Ooh, all over the place for me. I know that they all say it's a love triangle. It's a love angle. There's no triangle at all. I'm going to stress that a lot. I think anything romantic wise, when it, or even, what is this called? Dark romance or whatever? Yeah. So it's an angle, a love angle, love point, love angle, because it's one character who likes 2 characters. Those 2 characters like that one character. There's no cross. There's no, the other 2 don't love each other. Like it's a whole thing.
It's a very acute angle.
Yes, it is. It's very cute. But so I have a lot of mixed feelings because I've read pretty much all of the manga. I have a lot of mixed feelings and even into the sequel, which is why I mentioned it. First off, it's a cute story. It's got some really interesting plot twists when it comes to it. There is, like I said, the love angle between Yuki, Zero, and Kaname. But then it gets weird, really weird. Really about where the anime and the manga start to split off at. I don't know how far you've gotten into it, Kels.
I was at the point where Yuki had been turned back into a pureblood vampire and bit Kaname and was sort of reliving his memories.
Gotcha. So yeah, where it's just revealed that they're brother and sister and that they're betrothed to be married.
Sticking with the very, very, very keep it in the family so we have all the power
Yes.
historical evidence.
Yes.
Because it's worked so well historically in the past.
Yes, it does. It works. It's worked very well. There has never been any issues with someone physically or mentally. I can't even say it with a straight face. 100% Hitler was wrong. All right, y'all. Hitler is wrong when it comes to genetics. All right. 100%.
Oh, it just makes me think of like Victorian England with the whole like, I don't remember exactly what his name was, but he had so many health problems because like his family tree was like a wreath. And oh my God, it was so bad. Looking at his portraits, I'm like, they tried to make it flattering and he still looks like the old school, like Nintendo Super Mario 64, like original face where you could like stretch his face out.
Oh, yeah.
That's what
Yeah.
this dude looks like in a portrait. And I'm like, why did your sibling, aunt, uncle cross have to happen? Like,
Yeah.
you shouldn't be able to be your own uncle. It's
Yeah.
disturbing.
Yeah. So here's a little bit where the spoiler comes in because a lot of people has, read at least some of the manga, if not all of it, and then other people have just watched the anime, and this is where it kind of splits off. So in the manga, she does get with her brother. They have a daughter. He dies, and she turns around and gets with Zero and has a son. Then Zero
Well,
dies.
damn.
Yeah, then Zero dies. And then she realizes she loved Zero more than she loved her brother, and so she gives her brother her heart in order to become dead like her meant to be lover Zero, and made her brother human to experience what it's like to be human. So he comes back to life alone.
That is a level of really effed up.
Yeah, and he's woken up by his daughter and his, well, I would say stepson technically, but not really stepson, but the son of Zero and Yuki.
I don't really have words that I'm allowed to say on this podcast for
Yeah,
for how messed up that is
it's
without us getting
very
flagged.
crazy. It's very crazy how it and there's a lot of mixed views that people have with it. Some people like it the way it is because it kind of gave the reader, depending on what team you were quote unquote wanting, you got a little bit of both. And then other people are like, this is a shitty ending. It just, yeah, it kind of starts to fall apart later on, but that's pretty much what the end is. It's just him waking up as a human and the end. So she's dead with her
I mean,
lover.
it almost seems like such a shallow end too, because like they developed her character decently well, only to be like, oh no, a boy I really like is something else, gonna kill myself. Like it doesn't, I don't feel like it does her justice for everything that she's had to go through up until that point. And then all of a sudden it's like, well, life's not worth living because I liked a guy and he's dead. And then she just like Juliet's herself.
Yeah.
It's kind of a lackluster ending in my opinion.
Yeah, because her brother pretty much gives them both permission to be with each other before he quote unquote died. And then, he gets frozen in ice, coffin thing or whatever. And then, like I said, she decides that she wants to wake him up and make him human. So she gives him her heart and then leaves her kids to explain to him what happened.
I mean, mom of the year right there. Be like, hi, here's this traumatic thing you don't probably quite understand. Now go explain it to your dad slash half dad
I don't know how
father
you would explain
figure.
that. Yeah, pretty much. It's quite interesting.
I mean, I'm gonna take it to where I got to and just be like, okay, you know what? That's the end. I'm happy with that. That's fine.
Yeah, like I said, I like it pretty much to where it's just, she wakes up from her sleep or whatever, and their brother and sister, and that's fine. I guess writing wise, that's fine. But the rest of it, I just no.
Yeah, that seems like unnecessarily complicated and messy.
Yeah, pretty much.
In my uneducated, little honest first impression opinion over here, because I didn't get to finish it.
Yeah, it is. It's just it caused a lot of feels for me because I'm like, what? And then I'm like, huh? And then I'm like, okay, whatever. This is the route we're going. All right.
I was so invested, and now I'm not invested. I have de-invested faster than Wall Street.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, it's not to discourage people from reading this manga. Again, these are just our opinions on how we feel about it or what we have noticed, and our opinions. So it's not like we're saying, hey, don't read it. It's not a good manga. It's still a good manga. It's still, it could be your thing. Doesn't mean it has to be our thing. And like I did enjoy quite a bit of it up until, now that I know the ending.
Well, yeah,
Blissful
and
ignorance.
yeah, it is. It's one of those things where it's ignorance is bliss. But it's still drawn really well and it's written pretty decently. Like I said, it's one of those that kind of rushes through a lot of stuff. Cause she does her powers develop quite a bit. I know she becomes the leader for a bit and then she decides to go away and let her kid take over kind of deal. It's one of those where it's could have been a little bit more than what it gave. Cause I think it's just kind of a bittersweet ending.
Yeah.
And like he's just like, here you go, here's an ending. And I'm like, okay, that worked, I guess.
It's almost like, to me, like he just couldn't decide how he wanted to wrap it up cleanly and went, well, let's go with the equivalent of, dark romance fan service and
Yeah.
give them both.
And see, that's the big issue when it comes to fans of stories like that. It's either you win or you lose because if you put, there's quite a few examples, like there's Twilight and there's Harry Potter. There's just so many. Where it's a love angle and A or B people, and it does not, either A happens and player B does not seem happy, and neither does the fans, or B wins and player A and their fans don't get happy. It is a lose-lose situation. So it's kind of like giving them the best of both worlds while still saying, hey, this is how it's going to end because I'm going to make her be with both characters and then kill her off because she actually loves Zero more than her brother. Ha 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 ha.
Exactly.
So it's crazy. But it is good. It is really good. And it's a really good story to pretty much go back and read. Now, personally, I would probably just go back and watch the anime just because it's still focuses on the plot, but it doesn't actually go into the other aspects of what the manga does. Because I know it gets a lot deeper when it comes to certain plot angles.
That is true. Having read the manga, not to completion, obviously, but also watching the anime, I do find the anime is a little bit more palatable if you're looking for something that's more plot based rather than fan based near the end.
Because I mean, in the end, it's either pick one of them or pick none of them.
Exactly.
And so, like, personally, I would say neither one of them because they both had toxic traits, especially after she woke up and her brother's like, now that you're awake now and you know everything, I have to protect you because you're suddenly this weak little thing. And she's practically as strong as he is.
Yeah. Like, where was this before, bro?
And then Zero's all like, oh, I want to kill you, but I love you, but I want to bite you, but I don't. Oh, the agony. Oh. And I'm like, oh my God, pick a lane. Ugh.
Okay, to be fair, biting is a love language. My partner would not agree with that, but biting is a love language.
Okay, well, his biting is I'm dying of thirst. It's not really a love language.
I mean, it's a really sadistic love language. I didn't say it was a healthy one.
Well, I'm not saying that's the red flag. I'm just saying his personality in general is a red flag.
Yeah,
But he and her made a better relationship than her and her brother.
that is very true.
So
I
and
agree
that's
with
not
that.
even just because they're related. It's mostly just I guess the aspects of it. He still sees her as the little sister versus Zero coming in as pretty much the friend.
I agree. One other fun thing that I really enjoyed about this manga, though, and it's something that's kind of completely tangential, but it tickles my brain in such a happy way, is the fact that the chapters are broken up into nights. So it's like
Yeah.
night one, night two.
Yeah, that is
And
different.
so I find that amusing. That was just a little tangent. I was like, ooh, I thought that was a cute touch, but
It is.
I do agree. It is incredibly well drawn, and the plot, I would say, probably like 80% of it is fantastic. And I find it really engaging up until the acute love angle kind of like really kicked in, and our lovely author just decided that he was gonna like murder them both.
Well, I think up till even her brother eventually dies of old age if he becomes human. That's just logical there.
Yeah.
So in the end everyone dies. Yay! Yay!
I mean, it is spoopy season. We couldn't pick something where there's survivors. That would just be unfair.
So true. Actually, I think it was more of an accident the way these two were run. So
Shh, shh, they don't need to know that.
I know. I know. Ugh.
Any final thoughts on this one, or you think we pretty much said everything we want to say?
I think we're pretty set. Yeah, because part 2 is coming up right after this. Well, you have to go click on it. It's not gonna play automatically. We wanted to save some people's ears and eyes. Well, ears.
And sensibilities and what
Yep.
mental stability they may or may not have left at this point.
Did you take your medication?
No.
Then you cannot pass. Yeah.
To be fair, if I took my meds, I'd be sleeping right now and it would be more incoherent than I currently am.
Yeah, you'll be waking up going, "Oh no, did we even record?"
Did you press the go button?
Damn it. No.
But if you guys have read Vampire Night, we'd love to know your thoughts. What was your
Always.
opinion on the manga?
Or, you can just sit there and cuss me out for 10 minutes for spoiling everything. Yeah. I don't really care. It's been out a while. It's seriously, if you haven't at least attempted to watch the anime, that's on you. You're the one that clicked it and listened. There was a spoiler warning at the end
And I mean, every manga of the month is going to have spoilers.
and a
We're going to
review
discuss
at the
it.
end of the
So,
month.
yep.
So, and I still leave somewhat of a working link in the description after the end of this episode. So you may not be able to find it going to the regular main website that we have, but you'll be able to find it in the link below if it still works.
Fingers crossed.
I'm not responsible for that.
If you made it this far in the episode, we want to say thank you. We couldn't do this without your support. If you'd like to subscribe and become an official Manga Mommies member, the link will be in the show notes. For Manga of the Month, the PDF, copy, or free website will be located below. If you feel up to it, like, subscribe, or share our podcast so we can find more people just like you. We hope you have a great rest of your day, whatever time that happens to be, and we can't wait to see you next week.
Stay tuned, and thanks for listening.